Hello my dear children of class 11 science. Today again I welcome all of you through this mode of teaching, that is YouTube mode, and in today's class we again do continue with one of the important chapter, that is flow of liquids. Now children, in the last class we did some numerical problem based on the principle of continuity, the Bernoulli's theorem, and even with the Stokes law. Okay. Now in today's class we basically deal with the applications of Bernoulli's theorem. Although Bernoulli's theorem has number of applications, but we discuss only few applications which are actually numerical based. That means we solve even numerical on this application. But one of the most common application of Bernoulli's theorem is nothing but Venturi meter. So we start today's class with one of the device which works on the principle of Bernoulli's theorem, that is called Venturi meter. Now this is actually a device. To tell you, this is actually a device which is based on the Bernoulli's theorem. Means it works on the principle of Bernoulli's theorem. So I just add a point out here. It is a what? It is a device, okay, which is based on what? Okay, let me write this clearly. It is based on what theorem? Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem. But for what purpose this device is used? That is very important. Now this is actually a device which measures the rate of flow of liquids through a tube. It measures the rate of flow of liquid through a what? Tube. So I write down. It measures the rate of flow. It measures the rate of what? It measures the rate of flow of liquids, any liquids, but as for the convenient, okay, so one of the most common liquid whose flow through a pipe can be measured, and we take usually what? Water. So outer we deal basically with water. But children, remember this particular device is used to measure the rate of flow of liquid, any liquid, okay, any what? Liquid, okay, through a tube. But one important consideration that we have to do out here is the liquid or the fluid that we use must be an incompressible and non-viscous liquid. Means what type of liquid we consider out here? The flow in which takes place? The ideal liquids. Okay, the ideal liquids are usually incompressible. Okay, incompressible, they are non-viscous. Okay, such type of liquid when it flows through a tube, and basically we call this tube as a streamlined tube having different area cross section. Okay, then the flow acquired by this liquid is usually a what? Streamlined flow. Means even this Venturi meter theory which works under the streamlined flow. So children, we deal with the measurement of rate of flow of liquids, as I said, like water in a tube. Okay, so this is the main purpose for which this Venturi meter is what? Used. Now children, as you know, the rate of flow means out here we understand that in 1 second how much liquid is flowing. Means how much volume of liquid is flowing in 1 second. That measures the rate of flow. That's why out here rate of flow, just look at it, rate of what? Flow, okay, is basically measured by the area into velocity. Area into what? Velocity. So the rate of flow is simply measured by the product of area and what? Velocity. Now let me write, suppose area is A and velocity is B, the rate of flow means area into what? Velocity. Okay, so that means the amount of volume, let me tell you simply that the amount of volume that is flowing in 1 second, because area into velocity, but velocity means also written as distance by time. That means if a liquid covers certain distance of a given area in 1 second, then that liquid which flows in 1 second, that amount of liquid, that certain amount of liquid, or means the volume of liquid that flows in 1 second, and that measures the rate of flow. Okay, so children, remember this part. Rate of flow means basically out here can be measured as area into velocity. Okay, so this is the relation that we measure. But in a tube, let me tell you, in a tube, basically this area can be easily calculated, because the area can be calculated from the outer surface also. But the main question arises out here means how to calculate the velocity or the speed, the liquid that is flowing at every cross section of the tube. That is usually not known. Okay, that's why this venturimeter is also used to find the speed or the velocity of flow of liquid. As I said, children, that usually the speed of flowing liquid cannot be determined directly in that tube, inside the tube where the liquid flows. Although the area of cross section of a tube can be measured directly, means we can measure the area cross section directly even from the outer part of the tube also. But in order to calculate the speed, okay, we cannot calculate the speed directly. That's why this venturimeter is also used to find the speed of flowing liquid in a tube. The speed of flowing liquid in a what? Tube. So for two purposes, this venturimeter is used, as I said. One is to determine or measure the rate of flow of liquid in a tube, and it is also used to determine the speed of flowing liquid in a tube. So when we deal with the speed and the velocity at every cross section of tube, so this venturimeter can also be expressed in terms of the principle of continuity. That means out here we use principle of continuity to find the speed of this flowing liquid only. So children, remember this part, venturimeter, which actually a device which is based on the Bernoulli's theorem, but at the same time when we come to the measurement of this speed of flowing liquid, so we can use even the principle of continuity. Now before we measure the speed of the flowing liquid at every cross section of a tube, so let's come back to the construction part of this venturimeter. So from that construction part we come to the expression of the speed. Now this tube is basically a horizontal tube. So you can see in the diagram, children, also this is a horizontal tube, that is XY. So it is a horizontal tube XY where there is a narrow part, you can see at the middle, and this narrow part is marked by letter Z. So XY is a horizontal tube, okay, horizontal tube where this end has a narrow part having smaller area as compared to this end. Now at two end of the tube, okay, having a different cross section area, there is a vertical tube which has connected, and this tube actually called as capillaries. Okay, this tube is also known as what? Capillary tubes. Capillary means a very fine tube, which a very narrow tube, okay, which can be connected at two cross section of the tube. So one cross section is say at how much Z, another cross section is at that this. Okay, now this end of the tube having area cross section, I consider say by I make this tube, which are usually what is shape? Tube is basically cylindrical in shape, and this cylindrical shape has a cross section area, and that cross section area is marked by letter A1. And this is also a cylindrical tube cross section area, and it has a cross section area A2. But this cross section area, children, and this cross section area are not same, because this is narrow part and this is broader part. Okay, so over this cross section area having different cross section area, there are two vertical tube has been connected. Now this tube are called capillary tube. This tube are called capillary tube. So this is basically what tube? Capillary tube. As I said, capillary tube is a very fine, narrow tube where the liquid can pass through. Okay. Now this capillary tube is basically connected out here to measure the height in which the liquid rises due to the pressure difference. Due to the what? Pressure difference. Due to the what? Pressure difference acquired by the what? Liquid, flowing liquid. So what happened in this tube? The liquid will flow. So liquid will flow. But what type of liquid we are taking, children? Incompressible liquid. Incompressible liquid means an ideal liquid. So liquid flows this way. But this flow is also a what flow? Streamline flow. So there is a consideration that we are doing in this instrument, that is the flow must be streamline flow. The tube must be a horizontal tube having different cross section at this end, and the liquid which flows is usually a what? Incompressible and one viscous liquid. Now children, as you have learned that when liquid flows through different cross section area of the tube, okay, then the liquid even flows with different speed. The liquid flow with different speed in different cross section area. But as for the principle of continuity, you know that smaller the area, larger the speed in which the liquid flows. Larger the area, smaller the liquid in which the liquid flows. Means smaller the speed in which the liquid flows. So this area is smaller. So definitely at this cross section, at this point, the liquid flows with a speed, and that speed let me just consider as B2. So B2 is the speed which is flowing at this cross section okay, of this tube, and even in this cross section of tube where the liquid flows, but this cross section area is usually larger as compared to A2, so even liquid flows with a speed, and that speed is B1. So B1 and B2 are the speed in which the liquid flows at different cross sections. But you can see the diagram. This is the cross section, which larger cross section, so this liquid flow is smaller speed. This is the smaller cross section where the liquid flow is more speeds. Though, in order to maintain the same rate of flow in every cross section of the tube, so listen carefully, in order to maintain the same rate of flow in every cross section of the tube, the liquid flow with different speed. That's why you can see the liquid flows with different speed in different cross section area. And this is actually according to principle of continuity also. Now the next thing that we need to keep in mind in this Venturi meter is that when a liquid like water, so let me consider water is flowing. When liquid like water flows in the tube, the velocity, as I said, the flow at Z, this Z end, okay, which I have already marked as B2, is larger than the velocity of what? Flow of liquid at and this end, particular end, okay, where the velocity is what? B1. So this B2, as I said, is greater than B1. So I write on B2 is greater than what? B1. As A1 is greater than what? A2. B2 is greater than B1 because A1 is greater than what? A2. So children, under this case, what happened? That part also we need to understand, that when the liquid is flowing, a larger volume liquid, okay, at this cross section which is flowing, okay, flowing, then due to the flow of liquid, more volume liquid which is flowing, the liquid exerts more pressure, okay, and due to that the pressure makes the liquid to rise in this tube also. That means there is a liquid which rises in this tube, and this liquid which rises in the tube is usually due to more pressure. Due to usually to what pressure? More pressure. So I consider the liquid rises up to this level. So in this particular tube, capillary tube, the liquid rises more due to more pressure exerted at this end. And I'll tell you why the pressure exerted more at this end as compared to this end. And there is a relation that we do. Okay. Similarly, the liquid is flowing at this end. Okay, liquid is also flowing at this end because the area in which the liquid flowing is small. So even while flowing the liquid through this tube, okay, so pressure also exerted by the liquid, okay, on the liquid. So due to that, liquid will rises in this tube also, but it rises to a little height. Now it rises to a little height means because the pressure exerted at this end will be less. The pressure exerted and this at particular this end is what? Less. So children, one part you need to understand that in this flowing liquid at every cross section area, the speed or the velocity of the liquid is not only changing, the pressure is also changing. The pressure at this end and pressure at this end are not same, and due to this difference in pressure, the height acquired by the liquid in this capillary tube are different. And when there is a difference in height, then this difference in height is measured by, say, h. Suppose if this height is h1 and if I consider this height is h2, then the difference in the height is in the particular tube is considered as h. And this height which is acquired by the liquid at different level, okay, is due to the difference in the pressure exerted between this cross section area and this cross sectional area. So children, from this condition we can easily measure the rate of flow of liquid like water in the tube. So we can measure the rate of flow of liquid just like we are taking water in the tube easily due to this pressure difference. But in order to measure the rate of flow, we measure what? The speed of the flowing liquid. Because as I said, Venturi meter also measure this what? The rate speed of the flowing liquid at every cross section of the tube. Okay. So in order to measure the speed, we do the calculation, and this calculation is actually based on the principle of continuity as well as the Bernoulli's theorem, because this particular instrument like Venturi meter is completely based on Bernoulli's theorem. And the calculation of this speed we do in the next YouTube video. So we do continue with the same Venturi meter topic in the next YouTube video.